What's good, Bridget? Yo, what's good with y'all, man? Oh, you just never know with these intros now. I'm gonna just keep switching it up. That's just how I'm feeling. But yeah, how y'all doing? It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful autumn day. I think we're officially in fall now instead of summer. And even though it's gray out, it just feels so nice. I'm saying, just listen to the wind just flapping and rustle in the breeze. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, naturally, I have a topic for you guys today. Okay, relax, chill. Let me get there. Let me cook, as they say. We have to be ready to sacrifice now. Mm, actually, hold on. How do I start that? What we don't sacrifice now, we will pay for later. That's the topic of today's video. That might even be the title. Maybe you read it already. As I'm maturing, as I'm learning more about life, I'm starting to find that statement to be so much more true. You're going to either pay for things on the front end now or on the back end later. And if anybody knows that to be true, I could tell you it's me. Not because I've done all the work on the front end, man. I've pushed off a lot of things and had to pay with pay for the results of procrastination. I've had to deal with those consequences time and time and time and time again to the point where I'm like, now, bro, something's got to give. Something needs to change. You know? That plays into so many areas of life, but we have to understand that life has consequences. There are consequences for our actions. There are consequences for our lack of actions, right? Consequence, a consequence, even though people may think of it as having negative connotations or just being a bad thing, consequence, you could just say is a result. What is the result? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. What are the results of your action, of the things that you're doing? What are the results of the things that you're not doing and putting off? Each has an effect. We may not see the immediate results, the immediate, the immediate effects of those results. I mean, of those consequences. You know what I'm saying? Um, we may not see those immediately, but they will come, right? So, if we're looking at something basic like fitness, the consequence of me not eating right, the consequence of me not taking care of my body, the consequence of me not sacrificing my time, the energy now, I will pay for later. There's no question about it. I keep saying consequence, but the the topic is sacrifice though, right? We have to sacrifice things now to get results later. I remember, man, this happened to me so many times before I finally learned my lesson, y'all. So I schedule my rides in advance, heading to work. Um, Schedule a ride to pick me up, two from work, two from home, and drop me off at each respective location. But the thing is, you can only do them like a week in advance. So if it's a day of ride, you're out of luck. If you call too late, they could be closed. You know what I'm saying, in the day. And for some reason, it just didn't click. It just didn't click for a while. Like I knew that was I knew, but the thing is, I wasn't willing to sacrifice whatever I wanted to do in the moment. I would keep putting it off, right? Like, oh yeah, I'll just call later. Later comes around and I forget about it. And then that leads to, okay, now I can't schedule my ride. Now I'm freaking out. Not really freaking out, but now it's causing more just unnecessary stress figuring out how I'm gonna get to work because now I gotta pay more for an Uber or a Lyft when I could have just paid $3 to get to and from, right? So I could have saved money. Could have saved money. I could have got to work on time and not. I could have saved myself some stress. Like these are three very avoidable things if I would have just sacrificed in that moment whatever it was that I wanted to do, whether that be, I mean, it could be anything. It could be wanting to be on the game. I'm gonna just say that 'cause that's what I would do. It could be freaking wanting to just do whatever thing that you feel is more important or more pleasurable, right? Um, and sometimes that led to me being a little late to work. You know what I'm saying? Versus just picking up the phone, calling the spot, letting them know, hey, I gotta schedule my rides for the upcoming. That literally takes minimal effort, and I know that now. Um, and I've come to find out whatever it is I wanted to do in the moment was just not worth having to suffer those five consequences later, right? I mean, $3 a trip versus paying 17 to 20. You know what I'm saying? That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. But why not do that? Why do we not do that? Why do we procrastinate? Why do we put things off? Because it's something that's more pleasurable in the moment that we want to do more, or we don't see things all the way through, or we think we always have more time. We think we'll remember. Sometimes we forget we're forgetful. You know, and I can promise you, like, there has been no time where procrastinating, we're putting things off, we're not sacrificing the pleasurable thing in the moment has led to a more desirable outcome. Not once, bro. Not one time in my life has putting things off, creating more work for myself later, been to my benefit. Not once, and I've done it thousands of times, not with rides, but just in other areas of life, just over time. I mean, this stuff adds up. And think about the compound effect, the compound lasting change that could occur over that time, over those thousands of opportunities to just take action in the moment to make life easier for yourself later, where you could be. And and don't take that and that just, I guess, like, ruminate, right? I don't want you to ruminate over that. Live in regret. That's not what this is about. But just it's food for thought, right? We don't need to be ruminating and living in regret, but think about that learn from the past and think now, okay, what can I do moving forward? Because all that shit doesn't matter now. Use it as a learning experience. Change your behaviors to just schedule your rides. And right after I'm done with this video, I've written it down in my schedule. I have a time specifically set aside. I'm gonna do it around 11 o'clock. I'm gonna do it at 11 o'clock to schedule my rides for the upcoming week. You know what I'm saying? Find methods that you can put into place to keep you on track, to make sure that you are getting the things done that you need to get done. Because if you don't do it now, you will sacrifice later. You won't sacrifice later, you will pay later. In one way or another. With health problems, with obesity, with lateness, with financial ruin. Bro. And the crazy thing is, like, we all know, some part of us knows what it is that we need to do, what changes we need to make. That's why when we don't do what we need to do, why there's that little bit of guilt, why we can't just rest easy at night knowing that we got all our tasks done. Because we know what it is that we need to do and what we're not doing. Another thing I'm learning, and that falls in line with this video, that I need to work on is just going to sleep when I get off work. Just going to sleep when I get home. You know what I'm saying? I am beginning to I have been valuing my sleep much more, but also it's kind of just been a bit of a habit to stay up. Like, I'll be on a streak where I'll just come home and crash within the hour. But lately, even last night, like, I didn't do that. I was up. And why is that important? It's important because I'm valuing my time more these days. And the later I'm up, the less time I have in the morning to get the important things done that I need to get done. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm getting up at like 8 versus 6:30 when my alarm is supposed to go off, but I knew I needed some extra sleep. I'm a work in progress. Had I just gone to sleep once I got home from work, then I would have been up earlier and I wouldn't have had to be rushing around, and I would have just had more time to get stuff done. That's something that I need to be able to sacrifice whatever it is I'm doing up when I get home so I can reap the benefits, the rewards of getting more stuff done in the morning. I need to sacrifice now for a better payoff later. If I don't do that, I will pay later, regardless, and I'm not going to receive the payment I want. No, that's 2 whole hours. Where I could have been more productive. Where I could have got this video, you know what I'm saying, going and uploading it. I feel like y'all get the... Ultimately, we're all gonna pay. We either do it up front or on the back end. The back end, from my experience, has always been worse. Don't make life worse for yourself. Try to think, like, how can I make tomorrow easy? You know what I'm saying? Because when we procrastinate, when we don't sacrifice now, we're going to make tomorrow, the future, harder for ourselves. That's been consistently true in my life, you know? consistently. So yeah, think about how can I make tomorrow easier, not worse, not harder, not more difficult, not more challenging. Okay, you get the point. I'll take it easy, and I'm see you in the next one.